Now this is a fight. I kind of hope I didn't leave a lot in. It's just, it looks like it's going to be way more exciting than it actually is. You got a ton of guys, you got a ton of enemies, kind of all collected in one area, and I don't know, for some reason it just wasn't a terribly. I have never had fun with this fight. Kind of hate this fight. Um, this isn't good. I think this is the fourth episode I've tried to record in a row now, and I'm already. My pace is already slowing. Um, but it continues to be hot as balls in this room, and that's getting distracting as well. I'm gonna have to just turn the heat off for the night. Ration my temperature. I thought it would be leveled out a little bit more by now, but it's still pretty cold. It is March 18th, Wednesday, March 18th. You really hate to make any assumptions or even almost even really talk about the corona, just because it's all so unbelievable. Like the fact that we are where we are right now is like genuinely unbelievable. To think that a virus that got the place I work shut down is also messing shit up in China and Italy and Iran, and I mean it's just it's so mind-boggling just to think about. Um, and so even any speculation on the timeline just seems foolish to a certain extent. Because everything I've seen is that it's going to be getting worse. It's going to get bigger. It's going to get worse, and what that even means for individuals at that point, I have no idea. Um, I truly can't fathom us going to a full quarantine. But and that's what I'm saying. Like every time you imagine it couldn't possibly get to that point, it has gotten there and gone further. So you really hate to think of what is going to be the furthest, what is going to be the end point for this thing. Oh yeah, we're in the arena. Uh, Way late. I think I left. No, I didn't leave this full. There's no way I left this full battle in. This gets pretty boring because of Fane. I've because of Fane. Fane is the bane of my existence in the early part of the game. And to be honest, another big part of that was the fact that I just did not outfit him well at all. He's the kind of the what would you call it? How would you describe it? Not the odd man out, but he's the alternate, and he goes off of finesse, which is what my character goes off of as well. Um, I let him have a little bit of strength, but Fane is all finesse. And so I just I didn't pass a lot of stuff down to him, partially because he just wasn't pulling his weight too much, and also, he is a little bit of odd man out. Little bit of odd man out. But now that I have him as part polymorph, he is legitimately invaluable. Overthinking it, buddy. Oof. Yeah, I'm looking at the rest of this. I think we're going to need to take a break after this. I'll get these posted. That'll probably be another thing I try to go through and do, is maybe put names to a bunch of my videos. I didn't name any of the ones in Sekiro, partially because I didn't really care too much. All of them were kind of bland, and I'm torn. I'm torn with a lot of the way I do things on YouTube. There are sometimes I like to treat it like an actual show, kind of like the Game Grumps, where you have it in episodic format, and I know I'm going to see you next episode, and that kind of thing. I like doing that. I think it's juvenile, but you know, I think I think it's fun to kind of have that sometimes. But I'm torn as to even how to title them, because certain ones I'm more than content to just like the name of the area, or the boss of the area, or kind of the set piece of whatever that video is. I'm happy to just call it that. But then sometimes I like trying to be a little bit creative. I'm not good at it. I'm not good at making up like punny or clever title names, but I like it. And sometimes I get a little bit of enjoyment out of it. The worst was my Finding Sensibility. Oh God, trying to come up with titles for those. Those were gigantic pains in my ass. And I do want to I just want to reformat, redo everything a little more sensibly. Like trying to do those uploads every single day. It's not that I got overwhelmed with it. It got to the point where I was trying to do so much, I felt like I was just repeating myself ad nauseum. Just that I really didn't have much new to contribute thoughtfully, and that just amounted to kind of just saying the same thing over and over and over again. And got to the point where I kind of didn't want to watch my own videos as far as those go. And doing something where I do a little bit more of a deep dive, like I kind of did in some of those, where I look up either the author or the person who said the quote, and kind of get a little more context for who they were as a person, and all of that kind of stuff. I enjoyed that a little more. It gave me a chance to actually learn about something, rather than just kind of pretend I'm any kind of thoughtful authority on any of this stuff. But we'll see. We'll see. I do want to pick it back up, though. It is important to me. I had a lot of fun doing that. I was gonna say, I have no idea what happened right there. But we won! We won! We're the arena champions!
You prove yourself again and again. A warrior traveling the path of the...
Nobody cares. This is the important part.
You gave a medal, did you? She sits at full attention, utterly wrapped in your retelling.
It might just be you. The one. You might be him.
I am him.
Blackened hands before her and seems for a moment on the verge of weeping.
Then you're our best hope. You may become the one.
She looks around, checking for prying ears, and lowers her voice.
It would mean everything. The one will prove himself above all others.
Check and check.
Will become divine.
Checkmate.
There's only one thing to do. I've got to set you free. Your collar. Let me take it off.
Damn right.
It's on me.
She manipulates the ring around your neck in several quick yet intricate motions. Off pops your collar, and a sense of relief swirls from deep within you.
You hear me now. You get out of this place. You keep fighting. You become the one. And you think of old Nibora when it's all over.
Oh, we'll think of you. Just gotta check something real quick. Just real quick. Just real quick.
Runaways! If you're trying to save your friend here, you're a bigger fool than he is. And you're...
This fight is just the worst. The layout is crap. Blocked by the trees and everything. It just, nothing about this fight is any fun whatsoever. You get enough of it right here. This is all you need to see. We're moving on. We're moving on. Now this, I have yet to figure out how not to immediately set it off, because you get no visibility in there. But at least I was able to have her go around the other side, climb the ladder, kind of get... Okay. Okay. There you go. Get that high ground. There's like no visibility through that black smoke. So how that fight gets started, I have no idea. Got him in pretty decent position. I wish there would have been a way to like freeze that time. This fight is not nearly as bad as the previous one. I don't know. I don't know what it is about that previous fight. I I hate the area it's in. I hate the enemies. This at least feels like a video game fight room. The previous one, I get that it's like at least I get the impression it's supposed to be a fresh battlefield between these magisters and some, you know, super powerful force, but it's just annoying. I wonder if you will be able to record the Persona 5 Royal Edition. So I really want to. I just have fun doing this. I don't particularly know why. But I have more and more fun doing it. For some reason, at Dark Souls 2, I go back and watch those Dark Souls 2 videos more than anything else of my own. hate that game. But for some reason, those videos are just some of my best, I think. Ugh. I haven't watched any of my Sekiro. Haven't watched any. I just didn't care about that game. Solid 7. Disappointing. Good. Good, just disappointing. And we'll put this fight to bed. Kill him! Oh, of course.
Your courage in the face of danger is inspiring, my friend. Lucian guided your blows rightly.
Let's check those books real quick.
His eyes travel from your face to your feet, then back again.
You're no magister, judging from that collar around your neck. How'd you come to be here? Name's Gareth. I'm a seeker. I can give you shelter. And aid. Ah, good.
One of those things means a lot more than the other.
And perhaps you can help us. I came looking for a way off the island. Getting out of here means taking a ship. A magister ship. And they're not just going to give us one out of the goodness of their hearts. I came looking for weapons. Powerful ones. Wicked ones. You should forgive me. Weapons that will clear a path to Dallas's flagship.
Gareth looks about, scanning the horizon, then looks back at you. A moment passes.
I can't stay. You shouldn't either. What did Lucian say? Ah yes. Evil feasts on the indolent. Get yourself to safety and soon. You'll always have a place at the Seeker's table.
As the magister
Oh
turns
yeah,
to
this is,
you feel Fane stepping up behind.
Have you seen these contraptions? This must be the Magister freak the blacksmith was referring to. He may have the very tool I need to craft my mask.
Fane cheerfully explains that he needs something to rip off a person's face, even demonstrating the idea by reaching over and tugging on the Magister's cheeks. Rather than reacting with horror, the Magister seems excited.
something about this fight. I hate this fight.
Who are you, you pretty little salamander?
I think it's the first like real swarm fight.
Please,
And I'm not a fan.
yourself at home.
Not a fan.
Well, this is my playground. A little sanctuary. You're not listening. Come, fellows. Time to die for Papa.
Yeah, you just have characters all over the place, and it's very. There are little little ladders and stuff to get at you. You don't really see coming. It's obnoxious layout, obnoxious enemies. And we put them down. That's what I do. I'm a god at this game. God tier. Look at it. Look at that god tier.
Exquisite. The perfect tool to rip a face from a corpse.
Yeah, I did this way late.
Face ripper. Now to harvest a few samples, gather some source orbs, and craft a new mask.
Sicko.
Who's there? I can hear you. Captain, is that you?
I've really tried to do this.
The young Magister tenderly fingers two fresh gashes across his eyes and face. His fingertips hesitate over his closed eyelids. He's been blinded.
Stop! Stop! Who goes there? Wolf!
this was...
Tell me the truth. Who are you? Escaped. Hold still.
He sidles blindly beside the cart.
I'm trying to roleplay it as much as I can, but I also know the chain of events that kind of actually gets this to progress, and I screwed it up.
He continues to grope toward you, his sword clenched tightly in his hand. He clings tightly to your forearm, getting his bearings on the marshy ground.
How bad is it?
He pulls himself away from you and stands at...
Look! I have a job here. I need to guard this cart, and more than that, I need to protect people. You and the people out there. I can't let you leave.
He pulls a pair of shackles out of his bag and holds them out, open toward you.
You're dangerous. You hear? I need to protect people. I need to protect you. Nothing. Understand?
So basically, if you let him put the shackles on you, then the undead that are camouflaged all through there will come back to life, and you'll have to fight them.
They kill everyone. I've seen it. Hold still.
And so as soon as that option wasn't there anymore, I knew I screwed it up. I hate killing this guy, so we just won't.
The dragon rakes the earth with icy blows. Quakes from the impact knock you back.
Couldn't believe this. Couldn't believe when I saw this. Opening area, tutorial area, as a badass dragon.
He stretches his tattered wings with...
My gratitude for your efforts, friend. Yet I am no more free now than I was in those chains. Please, help me find true liberty, or sing me to the endless slumber. But of course, that must be why you stand before me. Slain called to the Lord of Death, and here you are. A coincidence? Ah. My fate, it seems, is not my own to call. My soul is bound to Jewel's abuse. Purged of my source by the wickedest of witches, I stand enthralled to her every whim. She has only to command, and my traitorous body complies. The witch Rebecca. I was in love with her once. For the smallest slight, really a trifle, she wielded a purging wand against me. Enslaved that you would even ask such a question of a stranger already in your dirt. She consumed all my source with her purging wand. So long you would have my
I gave you as much respect as I could, Slain, but goddamn, it's a lot of dialogue. I mean, it's not like I gotta get to work, but come on. Come on now. Too soon. Now this is just straight up the first real fight. You basically got a boss style monster, and then you got two of everything else. Two rangers, two heavy armoreds, and two magic users. I think there's two rangers. Maybe there's only one. I don't recall. Trying to be a lot better about keeping her outside the battle to get her summons off. I probably need a bit of a better mobility spell for her, but so far it really hasn't been too much of a problem. I don't remember how I got him up there. Yeah, this fight is a kick in the balls. and I've approached it all different ways. I think I don't think there's any that are good compared to others. Unless you're completely just breaking it down and you have like 2 on one side and 2 on the other. And at that point it's just like, all right, you're not reacting to the game anymore. Now you're abusing the system. Things, if I remember correctly, things started getting awful serious right about now. And again, I really needed to put some better skills on some of these characters. Yeah, Fane still does not have any warfare skills. The Red Prince is obviously not at this point, but what I've gotten him to, as far as oh, more holy light.
Don't be a stranger to your father. Was. Is that a threat?
Given him some necromancer abilities. Mainly just to give him another kind of physical damage ranged option. And it's working out pretty well so far. Just got to figure out Ethan. Got to figure out what that secondary is going to be. I really have no idea. I'm not getting bored with it yet, but oof. Getting close.